As we continue to answer questions for people who followed the Challenge to Cycle tour across America for at-risk kids, one of the questions was this: besides the physical demands on your body, what emotional issues did you face? And I think the emotional issues were quite a gamut, from excitement to exhaustion. But one of the things that I watched on the internet before even starting the trip, there was a guy that had done it twice, and he said there's going to be a time in the tour that you just start crying. You just start crying for no reason. And so I think that moment for me was week 5, day 5. I went into my room, it was Friday night, and the tour support vehicle team, we were all going to go out to dinner, and it had been a great day. There was nothing bad or negative. It was just a long 100-mile day of cycling, and I went in my room and I just started crying. I mean, tears just started coming and I couldn't stop. And I'm like, what am I crying for? I mean, it was a great day. I had wonderful support, got to meet a lot of neat people, but I just cried and cried and cried and could not stop crying. Cried in the shower, cried out of the shower. And so I called the team and I said, you know what? I'm not going to be able to go out to eat. For whatever reason, I'm crying and I can't stop, and I don't even know why, other than probably I'm just emotionally tired. So what the TSV team did is they ordered Chinese food. We brought it into the hotel room and we ate supper there that night. But week 5, day 5 was my emotional day where I was just crying. And so that's probably a day that I will remember. Another question is, was it harder to cycle in the cold or in the heat? Well, I had both extremes. In Washington State, it was about 30-some degrees, and it was pouring down rain, and it was freezing. And my hands were just shaking. My whole body was shivering. And I just thought, and that was like day 1 or whatever. And I thought, oh my word, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And then in Missouri, having 109 degrees with 83% humidity. And I thought, oh, I could not decide if it was harder to do the heat or the cold. But the one weather condition that brought the most debilitating, exhausting emotion to me was the wind. The headwinds in Kansas. The 15 to 18 mile per hour headwind just beating on you. And I remember we were doing an 80, I think it was an 84 or 86 mile day. And I had been fighting that wind all day long. And when I came to the TSV team, it was Blanca and Scott Pace, and I didn't even get off my bike. She was standing there. I rode to her, and I just collapsed on her shoulder and cried out of exhaustion, because 80-some miles of fighting that wind was something I had never done before. So I think if it's not really the hot or the cold, I think the headwinds were the most difficult weather condition that I faced on this trip.